Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I see some raised hands. Do you want me to go through those, or how would you like to do it?
तो अब आप लोग मुझसे प्लीज सवाल पूछिए कि अभी तक जो मैंने बातें की वो आप लोगों को कैसी लगी, समझ में आया या नहीं, मुझे फिर से कुछ बताना है। तो जो लोग जिन्होंने हाथ अपना पहले से ही रेज किया हुआ है या वो पूछे, या जो लोग भी आपने पूछना चाहते हैं। तो सबसे पहले मैं देख रहा हूँ देवराज कोचे जी, आप अपना सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं। और दूसरा है प्रहलाद सिडम जी। तो और सुखचैन कुलस्थित जी। तो पहले मैं प्रहलाद सिडम जी को बुलाता हूँ।
हेलो जय शिवा।
तो प्रहलाद सिडम is asking a question.
Okay, go ahead.
There are 5 people in the queue. Yeah, प्रहलाद जी please go.
मेरा ये कहना है कि हम गोंडी भाषा सीखने के लिए आए हैं। तो सीखने के बाद हम ये भाषा हमारी यहाँ रहेंगी कि ऑल वर्ल्ड में जाएंगी। और हमने जो मटेरियल देने के बाद उस पर हमारा अधिकार रहेगा कि नहीं, ये बोलिए।
So Prahlad Siddham is asking 2 questions. One, once we create this course, will it go to all over the world? Number 1. And number 2, once this course is created, who is the owner of this course?
Excellent questions. Okay. So when the course is created, it will be public, meaning it will be accessible and free to everybody. If that's not okay, if you would like to keep your language private, I do want you guys to tell me that, and we can try to figure out if that's possible. So everyone will have access. A lot of people will have access through libraries. So Transparent Language allows libraries access to their courses or the courses that are hosted on their site. So yes, everyone will have access. If that's a problem, please do let me know and we can talk. What was the second question? I'm sorry, Shu.
So let me answer this one. The second question was, who owns this course?
Yes.
So do you want to answer that first, or shall I translate this first?
I'll answer it. So Transparent Language, for-profit company, sort of hosts your course on the platform. But all of the data that is used in your course, everything that's in the Excel spreadsheet, all of the audio, everything you write about grammar, culture, all of the content you create belongs only to you. If you decide you want to remove it, that's okay. If you want to use it for other things, that's okay. You have total ownership over your data and your content.
तो जो पहला प्रश्न था कि ये सभी के लिए उपलब्ध होगा कि नहीं, तो प्रहलाद जी इसका उत्तर है कि ये सभी के लिए उपलब्ध होगा। दुनिया में कोई भी जो भी ऑनलाइन है वो इसको एक्सेस कर सकता है। अगर आप ऐसा नहीं चाहते हैं, अगर आप चाहते हैं कि ये कोर्स सिर्फ प्राइवेट रहे, थोड़े से ही लोगों को उपलब्ध हो, तो आपको मुझे वो बताना होगा, हम वैसा भी कर सकते हैं। और जो दूसरा प्रश्न है कि इसका ओनरशिप किसके पास होगा, तो ये जो पूरा कोर्स है ये जो लैंग्वेजेस, ट्रांसपेरेंट लैंग्वेजेस जो संस्था है उसके सर्वर में रहेगा, पर इसकी ओनरशिप पूरे चीजों की, जो आपने ट्रांसलेशन भेजा है, जो आपने ऑडियो भेजा है, वो आपकी होगी। और कभी भी आप इसको वापस लेना चाहते हैं, कभी आप इसमें बदलाव करना चाहते हैं, वो आपका होगा, आपका निर्णय होगा। तो प्रहलाद जी, आपको दोनों प्रश्न के उत्तर मिल गए हैं? अगर मिल गए हो तो हम अगले वक्ता की तरफ जाएंगे। तो अर्का मानिकराव जी, can you be next?
Arka Manikaro. Yes. Okay. I will put their hand down and go ahead, Arka.
Good night, madam.
Hello. How are you?
Fine, ma'am. Fine.
Excellent. What is your question?
One thing is, we already today we are going to about Gondi. That means the different areas the Gondi phonetic or Gondi what the different regions and the actual sounds are different. So, which region language we are going to take standardization?
Oh, okay. So I want to make sure I understand correctly. Are there different written scripts that are used to represent this language?
Yeah.
So he was first saying about different versions of Gondi. There are phonetic differences. He's saying, Arka ji, aap batayenge if I am saying it wrong. And so he's saying there are various versions of Gondi, and Gondi has not been standardized yet. We are still working on that work. So which Gondi will be used in this course?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of the languages we work with have many dialects, and you have to make a decision, really. So I would say that the decision is entirely yours. I will work on whichever dialect of the language you choose. I would suggest that you do the dialect that your speakers speak, or whatever speakers you choose to work on this project. I would say you use their dialect and represent it. We can always also make notes within the course explaining that other dialects of this language do exist, and that things might sound different or different words might be used, etc.
Different areas, the regionally speaking, some differences, phonetic sounds. That phonetic sound.
Yeah, the pronunciation is different.
We developed a dictionary, a lecture dictionary in 2014 with 40 words.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And we developed a phrase book on Gondi with 5 languages. The tribal language.
Did you say there are 5? Are there 5 dialects?
Phrase book. If you want to collect them, also developed. In Google. Gondi dictionary and Gondi phrase book.
That's great that you already have a dictionary. So
treasury.
So would we like to, if you would like to use the dialect that is represented in the dictionary for the course, that makes sense, and you absolutely can. Like I said, just make sure that you're using speakers of the correct dialect for the project.
Yeah.
Oh, what do we have here? Someone's presenting.
Yeah, it is good. It is good, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So, did I answer your question, or would you like me to explain more?
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so the next is Devraj Korche ji. Can you ask your question, and next can be Nehru?
Yeah. All right. I'll lower Devraj's hand.
देवराज जी आपका सवाल पूछिए।
जी सभी को सादर सेवा जोहार। I am very sorry. This meeting is very important, but I am busy in a musical program. But this field worker, my helper, this meeting this time. My question is this. अब मैं हिंदी में बोलूंगा क्योंकि इंग्लिश मुझे नहीं आती, तो
जी बिल्कुल हिंदी में बोलिए जी।
तो चूंकि मैं प्रोग्राम में था तो बाकी बीच में सुना हूँ अब बहुत सारी बातें मैडम का, तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा और लैंग्वेज के क्षेत्र में बहुत सारा वो काम कर रही हैं और हमारे गोंडी लैंग्वेज को भी एक बहुत बड़ा सपोर्ट मिलेगा। इसके लिए कोई क्वेश्चन तो शायद मेरे साथी जो सुने हैं वो बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन रखेंगे, लेकिन मैं उनको बस थैंक्स कहना चाहूंगा कि इस क्षेत्र में भी वो कार्य करना चाहते हैं। वेरी वेरी थैंक्स मैडम, और सभी को अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूँ। समय कम है इसलिए हमारे साथी इस पे क्वेश्चन रखेंगे। ये थैंक यू वेरी मच, मुझे बोलने का अवसर प्रदान किया उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
So thanks, he just wanted to say thanks. So we have only 10 minutes, हमारे पास सिर्फ 10 मिनट और हैं। तो next सवाल नेहरू जी, नेहरू माडवी जी।
Okay, let's answer Neru's question and then I will wrap us up. Go ahead, Neru.
जी, once again good morning all of you. सर मेरा सवाल ये है कि अभी हम क्या करना है बोला है और ये टीम क्या करता है बोला है, मगर जो ये कोऑर्डिनेशन करने के लिए हमारा गोंडी समुदाय, गोंडी भाषा का समुदाय कैसे इसको ऑर्गेनाइज करना है, ये चीज़ भी बताने से हम कैसे मिलकर ये काम को, ये कोर्स को फुलफिल करेंगे, इसमें भी एक क्लैरिटी देने से नेक्स्ट मीटिंग में हम वो तय कर सकते हैं, ये टीम को हम फॉर्म कर सकते हैं। इसीलिए ये टीम, गोंडी भाषा का टीम कैसे बनाने से ये कोऑर्डिनेशन होता है, ये टीम के लिए आप बोलिए।
So Nehru ji is asking that, you know, we understood what you will be doing, we understood what we should be doing, but do you have any suggestion on how do we form our team? So please guide us, because we have lots of people here, around 70 people, more than 70, 75 people are here. So how do we organize ourselves so that when we meet next time, we can be making better use of our time?
Okay, that's a great question. Yeah, you guys do have a somewhat unique situation. There are a lot of people here. So let's see. I would suggest, well, let's see. First, let me ask a little bit of background so I can get a better idea. What is your speaker population like? About how many speakers do you have? How old are they? When and where is the language used? Can you tell me a little of that? And then hopefully I can help.
So अभी कायली जी ने पूछा कि आपके भाषा में कितने लोग बोलने वाले हैं, तो मैं ही उनका जवाब दे देता हूँ. So the official figure is 2.7 million people.
Okay.
That's the official speaker, but as I said, there are 12 million people who are Gonds, but 3 in 4 have forgotten their language. So this course will be very, very useful for those people who have forgotten. तो मैंने उनको उत्तर दिया कि 1.2 करोड़ गोंड हैं सरकारी आंकड़े के अनुसार, और 27 लाख लोग गोंडी बोलते हैं. तो 4 में से 3 लोग गोंडी भूल गए हैं, गोंड में से, गोंड सगाजनों में से. तो ये जो कोर्स होगा उन लोगों के लिए बहुत उपयोगी होगा जो लोगों ने गोंडी नहीं आती है उनको. Yes, Kylie.
Okay. So let's see. I would say that one of the first questions, I guess, is how many of you are fluent speakers of the language? And do you want your project lead to be somebody who fluently speaks the language so that they can help make decisions? So that would probably be my first question for you guys to think about. The other thing to think about would be what dialect you want to represent. And no one dialect is better or worse than the other, but you will need to choose one to do the course on. So that also might help you make decisions about who your speakers are going to be, etc. For the other roles that need to be filled, if you have anyone who is very good at tech, I would definitely include them. They can help a lot with audio and with creating the files for the course. Let's see. in terms of choosing who is going to be on the project, you're right. There are a lot of you, and it's not really practical to have everyone be involved in the project. So I would choose people who basically have the resources. This is going to take a lot of time. We cannot pay you for your time. So if you have funding and payment from other sources, or you have people who can afford to spend this much time on the project, it would be good to find them as well. Sorry, that was a lot of information, Shu.
तो कायली जी ये बोल रही हैं कि आप लोगों को ये तय करना पड़ेगा कि अगर बहुत सारी बोलियां हैं तो कौन सी बोली को आप लोग इस कोर्स का हिस्सा बनाना चाहते हैं, इसका उत्तर आप लोगों को देना है। दूसरा उन्होंने कहा कि इसमें काफी समय लगेगा और जो भी इसमें काम करेंगे उनको हम आर्थिक रूप से मानदेय नहीं दे पाएंगे। तो इतने सारे लोग तो नहीं जुड़ेंगे, वो प्रैक्टिकल नहीं है, उनके साथ में हम नहीं काम कर पाएंगे। तो आप लोगों को ये दो चीजें तय करनी है, कौन सा बोली आप लोगों को लेना है और वो कौन से लोग हैं जो भाषा को बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं और हमारे साथ में बातचीत भी कर सकते हैं। तो if I can answer on their behalf, Kylie, when we started working, then they said they don't want to choose any of the dialect and they want to do a mixture of all the dialect. So how do we go about that?
I would say it is not a good idea to do a mixture of all of the dialects in one course. It will be very confusing for your learners, and it could discourage them from continuing on with the language, which is really our goal here, is to help them remember. If you want to make sure that all of your dialects are represented, then I would say you need to make separate courses for each dialect. The content of those courses could be the same. It could be the exact same course, just in different dialects in each one.
तो कायली जी का ये सोचना है कि अगर आपकी बहुत सारी बोलियां हैं तो मेरा सुझाव होगा कि आप हर बोली के लिए अलग अलग कोर्स बनाएं और एक ही कोर्स हो सकता है पर वो अलग अलग बोली में हो। ये उनका सुझाव है।
Okay, so that's maybe our dialect question. If that's true and that's what you guys decide you want to do, then we need to consider that we're now talking about making, I'm not sure how many dialects there are, but however many courses that is, and whether or not you guys have the resources, the time, etc. to do that. It's okay with us if we move forward and we take on this project. We can absolutely do a course for every dialect, but you guys just need to consider if you have the resources to do that right now.
तो कायली जी आप लोगों से ये पूछना चाहेंगी कि हम ये कर सकते हैं, पर क्या आपको ऐसा करना है कि आप सभी डायलेक्ट के लिए अलग अलग कोर्स बनाएं? तो ये आप लोगों को बताना है।